Hello everyone and welcome back to another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. All these teams are super fast. We use wave clear and all of the mini bosses, as well as we have a very solid team for the final boss and intrusion battle that don't use any of the new batch. So if that sounds interesting, then stick along and let's get straight into my teams for treasure map versus lore. If you enjoy the teams and you use any of them, then consider subscribing for more content in the future. If you need any replacements for the teams, then obviously ask them in the comments. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so here we are for treasure map versus lore. This is a very interesting treasure map, very similar to the last one. There's 3 bosses of the exact same type. There's also another mini boss that is going to change into a random type. So once again, bullet is going to be very key for this treasure map. If you have him at a high level or break, you're going to be eating very good for this treasure map. But for the first mini boss here against Smoker, so this team is using mainly int characters since the boss is Sai. We're using Carrot. She's an amazing character for treasure map. If you have her, she's great. She reduces cooldown by quite a substantial amount. But on stage 1 here, we're going to use Vista to wave clear, as well as on stage 2, so make sure you have his double special activation potential ability at max. Then on the final stage, there are a few gimmicks that we're going to get around. First of all, we have block orbs, where we get around that with Shirahoshi. She gives us a full board of rainbow orbs at the start of the quest, so the enemy can't change our orbs into block. As for the 3-turn hit barrier, this is the main reason we're using Carrot. She allows all of our characters to bypass barriers, so we can basically ignore that. And with Shirahoshi, we basically have no debuffs to go around that we have to get around, besides there being a type effect boost interruption, so we can't use color affinity boost on the final stage, which is why we're just going to use the support of Tal Nami on our Reiju character to give us a minor 1.3x color affinity boost. Then we're going to use our Carrot special to give us a 2.25x ore boost, and we also have the support of Dogstorm to give us a 1.75x attack boost. That attack boost can then be buffed to 3x with the special of Whitebeard and Raja, and they'll also give our color affinity boost a 0.5 increase. So from the color affinity boost from our Tal Nami, he's going to increase that to a 1.8x color affinity, which is going to help our damage quite a bit. So this team is very strong, giving us a 3 times attack boost, a 2.25x ore boost, and a 1.8x color affinity boost. We also have the support of Marco on our Vista to give us a 0.7 chain boost to help our chain out a bit. On all the teams, you want to make sure that you have some sort of chain boost to help you with damage, and this team is no exception. We also have the boosted unit being Reiju there. She can be optionally activated later on in the treasure map. If damage becomes niche, she's an option there. You can activate her special for a conditional attack boost. So this team is very strong. Make sure you tap with your Reiju first, since she's going to be doing the most damage on the team. And that should be it. This is a very fast team. Uses 2 specials and 3 supports. So it's very fast and very strong. Let's get into the next mini boss against Tashigi. Okay, so for the mini boss against the Shigi here, we're running a double Jack team, which is quite interesting. No one uses Jack anymore since Marco is straight up better. But for this quest, he's pretty good. So on stage 1, we can use our Opera to wave clear. I'm pretty sure you need expansion for his cooldown, otherwise he won't be ready. On stage 2, we can use our Inaru to wave clear, as well as give us 2 turns of cooldown. That is pivotal in having our Stride Crew special ready on the final stage. That Brulé support is also necessary for the exact 2 turns of cooldown on the final stage, so that Stride Crew is finally ready. They have a very high cooldown of 16, so having the support as well as Inaru's cooldown to make sure that they are ready. You could also use support or Liquid Pick'ems if you don't have Brulé, but those are just 2 options. And then make sure you use your Kanjuro special. He's going to give us a defense down conditional attack boost, as well as get rid of the enemy's threshold and defense up. Then we can use our Strike Crew special to give us a attack boost, orb boost, and color affinity, as well as change all of our orbs into rainbow. So very important unit, giving us all of those boosts with 1 special is super good. And all those boosts, most importantly, last for 2 turns. So when the enemy does a revive, you'll still have all of those boosts. And then you can finally activate your Jack special for a chain lock, so that we can get around that annoying chain attack down. So this team is very strong. 3 times chain lock, 2 times attack boost, or boost color affinity, as well as a conditional from our Kanjuro special. So on the initial boss, make sure you hit a good with your Inaru, and then a perfect with your Opera. And then on the once the enemy revives, just tap with all the units, and it should be able to kill. Now, unfortunately, on the revive, you won't have the chain lock from your Jack anymore, but you could also just activate your friend Captain Jack special, and you'll have a chain lock once again. But this team is pretty good. We have wave clear on stages 1 and 2, we activate 3 specials and we have 1 support, so that's not too bad for speed, and we also get some XP since we're running Jack. But if you have any questions about this team, it's very weird, but it gets it done pretty well. So let's get into the next mini boss against Monet. Okay, so for Monet, she's gonna cut your health by 99%, so you'll be left with like a tiny amount of HP, and then upon death she'll deal 10,000 damage to your crew. So that'll obviously kill you, so you need to make sure to get some sort of healing ability on your crew so that you can survive that 10,000 damage. We also get 4 turns of special rewind to our captains, so you want to make sure that you aren't using your captains on the final stage unless you have some way to get around 4 turns of rewind, which is pretty hard. The only way I could think you could do that is if you're using like Uta, who reduces 10 turns of rewind with the captain ability, but that just seems like a lot of effort. Rather just not use your captains on the final stage. You also get 5 turns of crewmate special bind and a full board of unfavorable orbs. So this team is very strong. On stage 1 we're going to use our Luffy special, not only to wave clear, but it's to also give us a turn of cooldown, which is very key to make sure our Marco is ready on the final stage. Then on stage 2 you can use one of your Kuzan special to wave clear, since we aren't even using him on the final stage. And then on the final stage, Kuzan will give us a 2 times attack and orb boost with his captain ability, so he is required to be at level limit break 3 or higher, so you can get his upgraded captain ability. Then we aren't even going to use our Frankie special. He's just a stat stick there. He has very high stats since I have him at 150 and expansion, and he is a Psy boosted unit, so he's going to deal a lot of damage against the enemy, but he is replaceable. Then we can use our Marco special. We have the support of Rikuyo on Marco to give him his final turn of cooldown so that he's finally ready for the final stage. If your Marco is expanded, you won't need that support, but since mine isn't, and you shouldn't have your Marco expanded, he's a pretty bad legend. But we need that final turn of cooldown from Rikuyo as his support effect. So we can activate our Marco special to get rid of the special bind, as well as give us a color affinity boost, as well as healing, so we can survive that death hit. And then we're going to use our Perona special to give us a chain lock, a conditional attack boost, as well as changing the unfavorable orbs into matching. So with all that, it is a very easy kill. 2 times attack boost, 2 times orb boost, a 2 times affinity from Marco, a 2 times conditional from Perona, as well as a 3.25x chain lock from Perona too. So this team is super strong. The bottom row units, you want to make sure those are Psy characters that are boosted to deal the most damage possible. But this team should last the entire treasure map. Also make sure you're running the Moby Dick ship so we have half health, because we do need under 80% HP to get that conditional from our Perona special. But this team is super strong, super fast, 2 specials, 1 support, so I do think this should last the entire treasure map. It's very strong. But let's move on to the final mini boss against Virgo, which uses that very annoying type changing effect. Okay, so for the mini boss against Virgo here, stage 1 use Caesar to wave clear, stage 2 use Zora to wave clear, as well as give us 2 turns of cooldown to our units. On the final stage, we're going to activate the support of Odin to give our Kikunojo the final turn of cooldown they need to get maxed. If you have a bullet at level 1 break 3, he will give cooldown in his captain, and the support of Odin will not be necessary on Kiku, so you can save a bit of time. But we're going to activate our special of Jack to get rid of the 5 turns of paralysis and attack down, as well as give us a 2 times color affinity boost, and then they'll pop the support of Akainu to give us a full board of matching orbs, as well as a 1.5x attack boost. Then we can activate Kikunojo's special to, if you don't know that she is a Colosseum unit, you can farm her, it's pretty easy. But you can also activate her to give you a damage reduction to reduce the enemy's 5 turns of it, and she'll also give you a 2 times orb boost. Then you can use your Caesar special later on when the damage is a bit niche to give you a 1.75x conditional poison attack boost. And then we have the support of Dofi for a 0.5 chain boost, so that is quite key for some damage, but it is not necessary, it's just there to help a bit. So this team is 3 supports, 2 specials. If you have your bullet at level 1 break 3, you don't need that support of Odin on Kiku, and it becomes a 2 support, 2 special team. So this is quite fast and strong. It should last at least 200 nav levels. But I hope you enjoyed the mini bosses. I will move on to the final boss and then finally the intrusion. So for the final boss against Caesar here, he's a strength character. I'm pretty sure the second stage is also strength. But here we're running a hybrid of Legend Kiku and the treasure map Hina. So make sure you're running Hina as a frame captain for the highest point boost possible. So Kikunojo and Izo is usually an amazing character for mini bosses. But if you notice that I didn't use them in the mini bosses, it's because they are very good for the final boss and intrusion. So as a captain, they hybrid up quite well with Hina, since they're both quick, and they both boost quick as well. So on stage 2 we get if you have to get around 6 turns of enemy threshold and resilience. So our Kizuna Shanks from the previous Kizuna is going to get around both of those debuffs. And then we can also use our Carrot and Wanda special for a 2.5x orb boost, and proc the support of Dogstorm for a 1.75x attack boost. Then we can use Kikunojo and Izo's special for a 3.5x chain lock that will last until the final stage, as well as extend the 2.5x orb boost from Carrot and Wanda so that it lasts until the final stage. Then we can activate our Kikunojo and Izo's super type to change our Murder Rose slots into Wano orbs so that we can kill on stage 2 very easily. And then our Shanks, we can activate him last to get rid of the enemy's defensive effects, as well as activate the support of Perispero, which is going to lock our cerebral characters' orbs. So if you notice that our Murder Rose characters, which are the characters that are going to get the Wano orbs, they both are cerebral, so those Wano orbs can be locked for the final stage 2. So just tap on those two characters, they'll kill very easily and their orbs will be safe for the final stage. And then moving on to stage 3, we're going to have the support of Odin to give our Kikunojo and Izo a Wano orb that is not required by any means, it just helps with damage a bit. And we also have the support of Ace on our Uta for a 1.3x color affinity boost to our quick characters. So once again, that's not required, but it'll help with damage quite a bit. Then we can activate the special of our Chopper to get rid of the enemies, to get rid of our special bind. And then we can activate our Uta twice to get rid of some of the attack down, as well as give us a conditional attack boost to our defense down enemies. Then we can finally activate the special of our friend Captain Hina to give us an attack boost of 2.25x, as well as a base attack boost of 1000 to our quick characters. So with all that, we have a 2.25x attack boost, a 2.5x orb boost, the one from Warriors still lasts until the final stage. We also have a 1.3 color affinity, a 3.5x chain lock from Kiko and Izo, and a 2x conditional from our Uta special. Carrot Wanda and Uta are going to hit like a truck. They still have the Wano orbs from stage 2, and it allows us to kill very easily. So this team is super strong, and it has quite a decent point boost for not using any of the new batch. But let's move on to the final team of the video, which is against the Intrusion. Okay, so for the Intrusion against Law here, on stage 2 we get a 2-turn bind after sockets. We're going to use Bruno and Kobe to get rid of that, as well as give our quick characters a 2.25x attack boost. Quite a significant boost for a very quick character. And we also have the support of Hakuba and Bruno for a matching orb, as well as giving themselves a 1.5x orb boost. We can activate our Uta twice to give us a defense down conditional, and then we can use the special of our Kiko and Izo to give us a chain lock, and then we can use the super type to give our Modoro Wano orbs. So try to save that Wano orb on our Carrot and Wanda, I'll explain later on, but you can attack with your Bruno and Kobe as well as your Uta, and those two should be able to kill very easily. So we'll have a 3.5x chain lock, Wano orbs, a 2.25x attack boost, a orb boost, and a conditional from our Uta. So they should be able to kill very easily. And then on the final stage, we're going to use our Carrot and Wanda special to give us a 2.5x orb boost. We can use our Hina special to give us a 2.25x attack boost and then a 1000 base attack boost. She'll also remove the enemy's 6 turns of defense up. Then we can use the special of Chopper to get rid of the 5 turns of burn. It is essential that you get rid of that since it is a 30,000 damage per perfect burn, and the enemy does have a revive, so that will come into play. So make sure you have a way to remove that burn, otherwise you are going to die. And then just kill numbly there, it is very easy. 2.25x attack boost, 2.5x orb boost, a 1.3x color affinity from our Ace. We also have we don't have a conditional yet, but we will soon. And then we also have a base attack boost from our Hina special, so they should kill very easily. Save the Wano orb on Carrot and Wanda yet again, and then the enemy will revive to 10% HP. They'll have a quick orb barrier, which we can ignore for now, and they also make our type slots matching, so we need to make sure we have some way of having a unique slot so we can deal damage to the enemy. So we have the support of our Odin on our Kiko and Izo that will give them a Wano orb on the final stage, so make sure you save that Wano orb as well as the Wano orb on your Carrot and Wanda. And then attack with Uta mainly on the initial kill to kill. And then on the revive, you're going to use your Kiku Izo and your Carrot and Wanda to attack the enemy through the barrier. So Kiku and Izo has the potential ability that will allow them to get through barriers. So they are very useful for that revive. Because that barrier is super annoying, we don't want to have to worry about that. So they just get around that very easily. And then Carrot and Wanda will have a effect from the special ability that will allow their normal attacks to go through barriers. So those two are going to be very key in killing on the revive. So this team is very easy, 10% HP after the revive, which should be enough to kill since the enemy won't have a lot of HP. But I hope you enjoyed this video and all the teams. If you have any questions about the mini boss teams or the final boss or intrusion team, then ask them down below. But with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Also make sure to subscribe.